The things that you learn in college are separators for the rest of your life. I know you're going to hate to hear this, but did you know that at the age of 28, you're probably going to be done playing? Did you ever think about that? 28. 95% of you will never be on another team again. It's very sad. This window is very small. But 28 years old, you will be done playing basketball. What are you going to do for the next 40 years of your life? Do you ever think about that? That is the reason you want to go to college, to get a degree, a quality degree. Because for some of you, you are going to walk on a campus and they're going to offend you and you're not even going to know it. Here's what they're going to say. Oh, we've got this great class for you. Everybody loves it. It's called Rules of Ping Pong. You should take this class because if you ever play ping pong, you want to know the rules. You know what they're saying when they tell you that? We don't think you're smart enough to take an English, math, social studies, economics course. We are going to give you a class that is really easy. All you have to do is show up and you'll get a B+. That's offensive to me. When you walk onto a campus and you get ready to take a class, you want to say, I want to be prepared. I want marketable skills. I want to take classes in how to communicate. I want to take classes so I can write really well. Don't let them talk down to you. Don't let them keep you eligible. So we're going to talk recruiting today. And I put down 10 things that I want to share with you that I've learned. In 1980, I was ranked the best player in the Midwest. I was a McDonald's All-American. I had a huge box filled with letters from UCLA, Kentucky, Duke, North Carolina, Arizona, Kansas, everybody. And then I have 2 kids that I'm going through the recruiting process. My son's at Western Michigan. My daughter is a senior in high school. She's going through the same stuff you are. I've been an AAU coach, and 30 of my players have gone on to get college scholarships. And at the Top 100 camp, I've had an opportunity to talk to parents and players. I'm not the best expert in recruiting, but I've been around it enough to know a few things. So I want to lay out some thoughts for you. Number 1, who's recruiting you right now? And remember, if you're a 9th or a 10th grader, start setting some big dreams because this is going to apply to you too. Who's recruiting you? You've got all kinds of letters, boxes full. If you've got a letter from Kentucky or Penn State or Iowa or Central Michigan, are they really recruiting you? Not necessarily. Most schools send out letters to 150 players per class. So if you get a letter from a school, are they recruiting you? Not necessarily. You know when you know you're being recruited? When you talk to the head coach. For those of you that are talking to schools, that you're getting letters, unless you've talked to the head coach, you're not really recruited yet. Are you a D1 player? Really tough question to ask. D1 player. Those programs are looking for 3 things. They love long and skilled athletes that get very good grades in school and they stay out of trouble. That's what they want. Now, if you've got very mediocre grades, then you better be an unbelievable off-the-charts player. If not, they are searching for that guy that is long, plays above the rim, gets by his guy with no problem, and gets good grades and will never be a risk in the classroom or off. So I was thinking about this. Every one of you most likely has D1 dreams. If you're a point guard and you're 5'8", or you're not super quick, or you can't keep your man in front of you, you might want to be thinking about D2 or D3. If you're a shooting guard and your jump shot is not strong and consistent, if you can't come off a screen and knock down a 17-foot jump shot, if you can't keep your man in front of you, you may want to think about D2 or D3. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you're a small forward and you have D1 dreams, that's the hardest position in college basketball because you've got to be multifaceted. They expect you to do everything. D1 small forwards now, 6'6", 6'7", long and athletic, like a Glenn Robinson. Can you play above the rim? Can you play post defense? Can you possess guard skills coming off screens, knocking down jump shots? Are you a 4 and a 5? Okay, are you a post guy? I'm sorry. But if you're a 6'4 or 6'5 post man, you can't play D1. That's just the reality of the game today. Once again, nothing wrong with D2, D3, JC, or NAIA. But you've got to be realistic. In the low post, do you have a go-to move, like a jump hook? And if you do you have a strong secondary move? Can you cover a guy that is 260 pounds? Can you rebound your position? Those are some of the realities of if you're a D1 player. Next, how do you select the right school for you? Here's my advice. Whatever level you think you're at, you probably belong one level below that. Meaning if you think you're a Kentucky player, you're probably more realistically Iowa. Okay? Also, whatever level your parents think you're at, you're probably 2 or 3 levels below that. If you want to play college basketball, there is an appropriate school for all of you. What I recommend is to find somebody in your life that is objective, that loves you as a person but is not afraid to tell you the truth. And most likely, that's your high school coach. They've been through this, they know. Sit down and say, Coach, we've got to have a talk. I really want your opinion on this. How do players hurt their recruiting? College coaches are paid millions of dollars to win. And they do their homework. Did you know that if a school is sending you letters, did you know that they're following you on Twitter? You ever think about that? They're following you. Okay, they may post a picture of a pretty girl that you friended, but that's a college coach and they want to see what time you tweet. If you're tweeting at 3 a.m., warning signs go up in their mind. If you're talking about a party nonstop, or you're using bad language, or you're posting inappropriate pictures, they're going right to the people that are making decisions about you as a college basketball player. College coaches talk to your AAU coaches. They talk to referees in your league. They talk to the attendance lady in your school. They talk to people everywhere to find out what kind of character you are. Okay? Are you high character? Are you low character? They will do their homework. They will talk to law enforcement in your town. Minor in possession, X. Move to the next player on the list. Next. What do I do if my favorite school is not showing interest in me? What happens if you're playing and you don't get the ball? You go get it. If you want to go to a certain school, guess what? Call them. Send them a letter. Drive up to campus. Be a playmaker. Because here's the truth. You are dead even with another player. We'll call him Bob, okay? You're dead even with Bob. You guys are both really good players. And you're sitting back hoping and praying that you get a scholarship. But Bob has written letters to all of his favorite schools. He's researched them on the web. He's gone to their summer camps. He has called the coaches. He's kept in great contact. Who do you think is going to get the scholarship offer? Bob. See, because college coaches, they want their job to be easy. They don't want to guess and choose who's interested. They want to say, they know Bob loves their school. That's going to be an easy recruitment. We don't have to chase him all over town. We don't have to beg and plead. We know that Bob loves us. If you want a certain school, go out there and make contact. And if they don't like you, so what? Okay? Then move on and find the next one. Don't be an innocent bystander. Do not be passive. My goal is to play in the NBA. Should that factor into my decision? Absolutely not. I've watched all of you play. There is not one guy in this room that is ready-made and a finished product. You need to find a school that is strong in player development, will give you a chance to improve and work on your game. If you go to a visit and they say, yeah, well, we put 14 guys in the NBA in the last 6 years, so what? What does that have to do with you? They recruited really good athletes, and what that tells me is they're going to keep bringing them in. You want to go somewhere that you can play, where you're going to get an opportunity to get on the court early and showcase your skills, and all that hard work you're doing off the court, and all the drills that you're doing at 10 o'clock at night and you get into your work, you want a chance to showcase that stuff on the court. Is it better to sit back and wait? Covered that. All right, and then the final thing is I created 5 tips to help you in the recruiting process. Number 1, improve your game. College coaches want guys that can just flat out ball. And if you have holes in your attack, you need to work on them starting right now. You are that close to the recruiting process. Find somebody that will work with you on the legitimate things that you really need. If you're not strong enough, you need to get in the weight room. If you're not quick enough, you need to find some drills that can help you with your foot speed. If your jump shot isn't good enough, then your coach needs to unlock the gym at 6 a.m. every morning and get in there and start knocking down jump shots. If you want to play in college, improve your game. Number 2, how do you get started? Size of school, level of play, proximity to your home, academic style of play. Don't overlook a school you've never heard of. Isn't that kind of true? Like if you get a letter from Minnesota, you're like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Big Ten, that's great. Oh, Clemson called. Yeah, that's an awesome school. I get to play against Carolina. Dude, yeah, I love Clemson. Wait, Rochester College? This one goes in the garbage can. Did you know that Rochester College last year, do you know what division they play? Anybody? NAIA. What is that? NAIA gives full ride college scholarships. Rochester College last year won 32 games. Rochester College won the NAIA National Championship. But somehow we get so excited about Kentucky, Duke, North Carolina, we forget about the great value of Division II, Division III, NAIA, and junior college. There are over 500 schools that you could play for. So don't overlook anybody. Number 3, set up a game plan. How many of you have done a Google search of all the schools that you're interested in? Raise your hand if you got that. How did you do that, Christian? Yeah, will you stand up and tell these guys, and tell them loud because you've been through it. This is what you want right here. Tell them loud how you did it. Turn them.
I researched the school to find out if they had the classes and the courses I need to be successful in college. I didn't worry about basketball so much. I just basically looked at all the courses that I needed to succeed in my career.
It's good. Very good. Thank you. So what you do is you do a search of all the schools, and if you want to stay close to home, then you do a Google search of all the schools in Indiana and Ohio and all the schools in Michigan, and come up with a list and start crossing them out. If you want to be a teacher, then Lawrence Tech might not be the best because they do a lot of engineering. Like, you've got to research this stuff. It's not random, guys. And then you want to create a profile about you. Did you have a profile? Like where you sent out information about you to the schools? Okay. Here's Hassan, stand up. I love your bio. It doesn't have a picture though, right? You need a picture because you're a good-looking guy. You want to show who you are. His video, you need to check it out. It's on YouTube. I don't know why anybody even leaves you. Okay? It really portrayed you in a great light. You know what I like about your profile here? Yeah, the 6'3", 180 is good. Okay, plays a couple positions. Are you kidding me? A 4.3 GPA. 4.3. I thought it only went to 4 points. That's really impressive. 26 on the ACT. Are you happy with that? Taking it again? Wow. What do you want to do someday?
I'm going into pre-med.
Tell them.
I'm going to be going into pre-med and hopefully have a career as a doctor.
All right. Yeah. Hassan, can I help you with your recruiting? I will call whoever you want me to call and tell them about your character and what you're about, okay? I love it. This is great. If you guys need help, that's what we're here for. But you've got to take care of your business like Hassan and Christian did. Thank you. So you need to have a profile. Even if you're a freshman or a sophomore, go on Google, look under the school's name, athletic staff directory, and it has all the coaches' emails. Put a profile together with your picture, your school, your size, and everything, and send it to every school you want so they know who you are. 2 more. Market yourself. Create a journal where you write down all the schools that you're interested in. And you write down, okay, October 20th, I sent my profile to Concordia College, and I sent it to Siena Heights, and write down all the schools that you sent it to. And when you hear back, you write it down. Write the coaches' names down. Know the head coach. Know the league they're in. Do your research. Because it goes back to how bad do you want to be great at this? And the last one is to remain optimistic and confident. It's a long process. It's really hard. Remember, $120,000 scholarship is at stake. Go ask your family, say, hey, is that important if I get a scholarship? Will that help you guys out a little bit? There's a lot at stake, and you can totally do this. But you can't sit back passive and hope and pray. I wish I had a magic wand. I wish I could sprinkle some magic fairy dust or something on you and it would all come true. It doesn't work that way. You've got to go out there and take it. And you can. Before we break, I want to tell you a story. I work for the NBA Players Association, and I travel around and I talk to the NBA teams. And last spring I was in Milwaukee with the Bucks, and I sat down with their player personnel director and their assistant general manager and one of their top scouts. As I sat in this room, on this wall right here were 100 names of high school basketball players from all across the country. By the way, not one single name from the state of Michigan. On this wall right here were 350 college basketball players from all across the country, all different levels. There's ACC, Big Ten, SEC, some of the smaller colleges. Over on this wall were 600 names of guys all across the world. Croatia, Argentina, Barcelona. I mean, they had states and countries and places you've never even heard of. And on this list, they also had guys that had been in the NBA in the past and were trying to get back in. So I said, what are all these names? What are you doing with these names? And he said, these are the players that we're scouting. Over 1,000 names. And those guys would give you their firstborn children. Their firstborn child, I should say. To get a chance to get their name on an NBA roster. The competition is incredible. And so I said, what are you looking for? I said, first of all, we want size, speed, and athleticism. Number two, are they coachable? How is their work ethic? Because we want first in and last to lead. We want high character people. We talk to everybody. If we're making $1 million investment, we need to know everything about them. Who they hang out with. I'm going to tell you right now, if you smoke, they will find out. If you drink, if you hang out with the wrong ladies, if you make bad decisions, their job is to find out about it. And so when I think about that wall that has 450 NBA players on it, it's really hard to get on that wall. Because there are thousands of people that will do anything to get on it. It's the same exact thing to get a college scholarship. It's not random. How many guaranteed NBA spots in the NBA draft every year? 30. 30. How many states are there? 50. There are hundreds of college players. There are thousands of international players. So how hard is it to get into that NBA draft? You have to be the best player in your state and probably the best player in the state next to you too. The reason I say that is not to blow up your dreams, but I know there are probably 25 or 30 of you that think, I'm going to play in the league someday. It's a great dream. But here's the thing I promise you. That you will walk away from this game someday. All of our coaches were incredible players when they were growing up. Based on watching your athleticism and the fact that a lot of you hit the genetic lottery, you've got these great bodies, you're athletic. I bet your dads played ball somewhere too. Ask them. All of your dads and all of your coaches are done playing. Your job is to think about that at age 28, your career will most likely be over. And that's why you want to get a college scholarship, take great classes, pick a school you love. Even if you never ever play there, if you break your leg on the first day of school, that you pick a school that you would love to be there anyway. Those are topics we're talking about today. I can't wait for today. I've been so excited all week. I woke up at 3 a.m. this morning. I laid in bed thinking about seeing you guys today. And I hope you're just as excited. You guys have greatness in you. As you walk up, if you don't have your name tag on, grab a name tag and let's attack our day. Let's get better. There are people in this room that are going to become prospects based on what you learn here and what you take to your team. All right? Let's have a great day. 9th and 10th to the classroom. 11th and 12th to the court. If you're new players, you can hang down here. I'd like to meet you, and I'll send you where you need to go.